Hey guys, I'm trying to do 15 things at once. I am hot. Holy crap. Hello. It's the 4th and 1 podcast. I'm going to hold it down here so I'm not blowing out everyone's speakers. We're going to have fun. Yeah, that's right. Of course, as always, welcome 4th and 1 podcast. That's where you can get us everywhere. We are now live on the TikTok. And turn us down here. That's probably going to be a little bit easier. There we go.
That's 4th and 1 pod. So everyone should be able to find us on TikTok. 4th and 1 pod.
On TikTok, 4th and 1 podcast. Everywhere else. Me and Micaiah, a.k.a. Captain Boring, we're live from Lidditz together. I have a Death Row Records Happy Dad Seltzer. Robert is up in Timbuktu, as always. If he lived any closer, we would actually be doing this in person. This is probably the best live setup that we've had.
Yeah. Took us 5 years.
Took us 5 years.
Took us 5 years.
It's technically 5 seasons, though. That's
5 seasons, 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 seasons, 4 years.
Yep.
Like some 100 episodes of this show.
137?
Yeah, 137. Of course, go ahead, check us out everywhere you get your podcast. Also, like and subscribe. Micaiah with the also.
Also on anchor.fm/4th and 1.
/4th and 1.
Yep.
I think podcast. I don't even know.
I think it's
just Google it.
1.
You'll find us and Cam Newton, obviously. In case you can't tell, we're not Cam Newton.
If you spell out all the words like it is right now on the screen, 4th and 1 podcast, you will be able to find us.
Yeah.
Include the podcast. Don't say 4th and 1.
Yeah.
We use the word podcast. Robert, how you doing?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. And then I saw that you put "so far away" as my little banner there. So before we get into this,
yeah,
I have to give a pretty big shout out to your mom.
Okay. Shout out, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a star-studded gift.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
It's the first time I'm seeing that. Look at that.
I'm just saying, I'm one handsome devil.
Let's go.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much.
I love that. I love that. I love the shout out. She'll love the shout out. She'll love that you love it. Yes. My mother always does week 0 gifts. So happy.
Did you want your laptop?
It's charging right now.
Okay.
I don't need it necessarily.
Okay.
Just kind of put it over there. Happy week 0 gift, Robert. Yeah. The college football season is just about upon us. We are 3 weeks away.
Let's go.
3 Saturdays from now.
Okay.
We will be college football. 2 Saturdays. I actually think it's 3 Saturdays from right now is week 0.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay.
Little John, Yellow Wolf, Twista, and your homeboy Busta Rhymes. Yeah. Oh, I'm not in the frame at all.
No, you're not.
I gotta stay.
You got to sit over here.
Well,
I can move over.
I want to get cozy, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyway, okay.
Pillows.
So pillows, you know,
pillows.
It's gay or not gay. So we got a fun. We're both excited for week 0. We don't got much planned for you. I, however, do have. I almost texted this to you guys, and instead what I did is I saved it to the pod doc. I am a big fan of LinkedIn, okay? As you all know. Well, you don't know. I'm telling you now.
Okay.
And I was in the bathroom, as one does, on LinkedIn because, you know, that's what I do. I
love how our titles are completely covering the face. So this can't even be a clip I post later if I'm being completely honest. No, you got to go down to text and just take the text away. But that's fine.
When do you mean take the test away?
It doesn't matter. Get to your point.
Okay. I don't think these show up. I don't remember these showing up. So this is my dude, Roger Prince Jr. He's a professional athlete, in case you couldn't tell.
He's #open for work.
He's #open for work. I kid you not.
Open to work.
This dude, and I can't scroll down. I should have pulled up his LinkedIn profile. But for those of you in the business world, he's #open to work. He just got cut by the by the New England Patriots, and he literally has all of his jobs on there. He had 2 stints with the Baltimore Ravens. I think who he was drafted by.
Yeah,
I just found this funny and thought you guys would find it funny too.
Because he's a NFL player who's open to work now?
Yeah.
So he's given up on his NFL dream.
I mean, not really. As you can see, he is open to work in assistance, administrative aid, administrative assistance. All right.
Well, hopefully he went to University of North Carolina.
He did.
Yeah.
2017, I think, is when he graduated.
Probably why Sam Howell spent so much time on his back there.
Yikes. Not the only person who spent time on their back.
Hey, yo.
UNC Chapel Hill. Where am I going? I'm coming over here. Sorry.
You got to stop the screen share.
Yeah, my mouse is all over the place. Robert was just playing in our Dynasty League. Shout out our Dynasty League. Yo boy is 3-1 and just destroyed the dude from NC State. 2-1. Sorry, I did have a bye week. The user from NC State, 49 to something. I don't know. I blew him out of the water. I'm not even going to remember what his score was.
I think it was 49 to 13.
49 to 13, which is about how badly I lost
to
Georgia week 1. Yeah. I did turn that sucker around though. Replayed them on Heisman, which we did do week 1 thanks to the commissioner's absolute failure at being a commissioner. I will say week 1. I think Robert would agree with me on that one.
You're saying I won week 1. So.
Yeah, I had no problems week 1 either. The only people
y'all didn't play the number 1 rated team in the game.
Would have beat him
on Heisman.
Would have beat him.
You had to come from behind.
I did from Temple. Yeah.
Right.
10-point deficit, 3 minutes left, and I came from behind. Let's get it started. Go ahead. We are 3 weeks into the season, Dynasty season. How is your season going so far?
We're actually on week 4 because I had a bye week.
Okay, so we're on week 4.
We had a bye week. Yeah, I'm on week 4. Lost like 48 to 14 or something like that to number 1 Georgia on Heisman. We then switched to All-American because we all had rough. One user, good user, not NC State, lost to an FCS school by 3. So, yikes, don't remember who that was. Sorry, calling you out there on the pod. Week 2, beat Appalachian State by 1. Stopped 2-point conversion. Let's go. It doesn't matter. Week 3 got much better.
A win is a win.
Yeah. I think I've lost 1 or 2 players already to Robert in recruiting. Because we're both in the ACC. I'm Clemson, just in case those of you don't know who are watching the pod.
How's your you feeling good about quarterback play?
Feeling great about quarterback play. Here's the deal.
Phil Maffa's doing it for you?
Dude's got a name.
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Phil.
His first name's Phil?
Yes, his first name is Phil.
I'm not sure if
Phil of the future.
Phil of the future. I'm not sure if Philip Moffitt. He's not very happy. I haven't been able to run the ball until this past game.
Well, I saw you toted the rock 21 times, $100-21, two tutties on the ground for Philip.
So here's what happened for Philip, okay?
I mean, Robert's probably got all the stats here.
Yeah, he does have the game up for me. Shout out. Here's the deal that happened, okay? Uh-huh. Coming into week 4 against NC State, and I get in, and I just go, why are all these players wanting to jump in the portal? There's a lot of players that are unhappy with me.
Yeah.
That are currently on my team.
It tells you why.
It does. Yeah, it does tell me why. And then I go and look at my recruits, and I lost a recruit. I'm locked out. I'm like, why? This guy, I'm number 1 on his leaderboard. Why am I locked out? His deal breaker is play style. Go look at my play style. Out of the 130-some teams that are in our dynasty, I am like 130th in rushing yards right now.
Yeah.
So my playing style got downgraded to an F. Not a rush. So that's why I ran 132 yards.
Yeah. I mean, tote that rock often.
Yeah. I'm also doing Texas's playbook with Clemson's offense. Don't ask me why I picked Texas.
It'll all work out. Get some speed option in there, and you'll be able to rebound.
Dude, just a lot of inside zone. I load them up, run the power O with 2 tight ends as fullbacks. It is great. It is 19-20 sometimes.
Yeah.
If I need 3 yards, just go at them. You can bring as many linebackers as you want. As soon as you break out that old school, I don't know what formation it's called because I just play the games and win games. Okay,
a win is a win. Hit him with the play action over the top. Then
sometimes I love it when they give me 1 safety and then I'll do an all go.
Yeah.
And I'll just see which one the safety covers, and hopefully one of my slot guys burns their guy, and then I just go, whoop, and then it goes for a touchdown.
All righty.
At least one time out of 5.
You want to know, like, your team stats? Like, how many rushing yards?
You talking to me or the commish? Oh, this should be good. I had like 2 really bad tackle for losses running the ball. So hit me with it.
Yeah. So we are week 4.
Yeah.
Just to lay that out there.
Yeah.
You have 87 rushing yards.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And 102. So he was negative 40 basically, because 121 of them came in his most recent game.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. This is what happens when you do RPOs
and you don't know how to run them and you run backwards.
Well, and you go to throw it and then you forget that if their guy isn't open, you still hand off the ball. Yeah, that's what happened.
So Phil Maffa also more than likely not going to have a NFL career because you ran him to the dirt 44 times for 120 yards.
Yeah.
44 times.
Wait, I ran him 44 times?
44 carries, 120 yards.
In the last game?
This is the season so far.
Oh.
So wait,
okay,
wait, say that again. 44 times for how much? 120?
120.
He literally ran, like, all of that came in your game against NC State.
Correct. Well, not the 44.
How do you not ground and pound App State?
2.7 yards per carry.
Listen, it took me losing to Georgia on Heisman like 3 times. Real talk now. I'm getting real. It took me losing to Georgia on Heisman like 3 or 4 times before I finally figured it out.
Okay. All right. Well, so we are now 4 weeks in, 3 games though for you.
Yeah.
Time to turn around.
Oh,
time to start hitting the gas. Time to open this car up a little bit.
In 8 weeks, game weeks, not real weeks. In 8 game weeks, about 2 weeks from now, probably, Robert will be wanting the smoke, and he will be getting the smoke in the ACC championship. And by that, I mean I'm going to get crushed by Robert Bainbridge III. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
So let's good segue.
Thanks.
Let's flip on over to the other team,
the Miami Hurricanes,
ACC, the U, which is you.
Let's go.
Not CFB3, right? That's your Twitch username. So go follow him on Twitch. He's a good follow. Listen,
wait, did we give you your Twitch gamer tag?
Yeah, he gave it to himself.
Let's go.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
He gives a lot of stuff to himself, but not the gamer tag because we called him not college. We called him not college football.
So Robert, tell us about your season so far.
Well, so far, started off pretty poorly at first half of Florida.
Negative 15
rushing yards.
Yep.
But quickly righted the ship. Firing on all cylinders. Defense is still putting up pretty strong. 4-0. Can't complain. Running the rock, growing the rock, spinning the proverbial bean, as they say.
They do say that.
Pretty much.
Hey, none of that.
I'm kind of. I would say I'm tied for first with like 4 other teams. You're not one of them, Sunian. Just so you know.
Tried for first in what? The ACC?
In the conference. Yeah, in the conference.
Yeah, it's Georgia Tech, Louisville, and you, and
me
who else?
And North Carolina.
Okay. Listen, respectively to the people of the Carolinas, fuck North Carolina. Continue.
Ranked number 10, so that's pretty good.
Let's go.
I purposefully told Micaiah when we were doing custom schedules to give me Penn State.
On the road.
Penn State.
Yep.
Oh, we're going back to the 90s?
Well, it's the 2024s now because your boy owns Happy Valley. And Penn State, because we haven't moved ahead to the following week, next week, Penn State is currently 0-2.
Let's go.
Oof.
Way to go.
Which means they would have lost to
Bowling Green,
which for whatever reason is super popular in this game.
Yeah.
Bowling Green or losing to Bowling Green?
Having Penn State losing to Bowling Green. In my first year in what is my Bowling Green dynasty, but I started at Michigan, Penn State lost to Bowling Green 49-14.
Mm-hmm.
None of the games are close to.
No. Is this the game telling us that Bowling Green's going to win the MAC this year?
We might
after being in the MAC basement for the past 14 years.
Well, let's not get too carried away because let me look at the MAC. I mean, Bowling Green's 1-0.
I mean, in real life, Robert, not this game.
And then I saw you dropped a big 91 on Northern Illinois.
Hello.
92. Because
92.
I could have scored again. No, it would have been 91 because I could have scored again, but I was like, I'm not getting stuck on 99. Like the Ohio State guy who got stuck on, 98.
All right. So, and then then you followed up that with USF in a close 28-48 victory, right?
Yep.
Duke makes his appearance for those of you listening.
Something like that. And then I just want to comment, you really like that double pass, don't you?
Yeah, because for whatever reason, the system doesn't understand it. So when you throw it, the corner they'll make a beeline for you, but then they just stop. So then you have two options where you can just run and you get 20 yards, or you can try and lob it over the top, which I haven't completed, I think, one of those yet. So it's a work in progress. It's going to happen. Might be against you, Simeon. I don't know. Who knows?
Here's the thing is I feel like Connor Stallions right now, who we'll get to in a little bit. I'm getting all the inside information.
Yeah.
I'm honestly super excited for the conference champion.
I will tell you, when we line up, I will tell you, hey.
Expect 3 user picks if you do that.
Jet pass coming at you, homie.
Jet pass. Just get ready to get wrecked.
Hey.
Okay?
You might want to get Phil Moffa's legs ready.
Phil Moffa was born ready. Philip Moffa the first. Maybe he's the first. I hope he is. It will be ready for the University of Miami. The Coke sniffers that you are. He will be ready for it.
So then, finally, is it my turn?
Yeah, no one cares about you, but go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, Captain Boring's
Love
ready.
That. So week 1, I down 10 to Temple, struggling on the road, and then Gavin Sawchuk rips off an 85-yard. It is a name. Rips off an 85-yard TD.
He has a name.
Come all the way back, beat Temple, hang on to that dub. That was on Heisman, of course. We know my debacle there. Changed it to All-American. The next week, we play Houston. We just unload all of the pent-up rage that we were saving against Temple on Houston. And then we walk into Tulane. And it was 10-0 at halftime, me. And my offense was just not chugging.
You're Oklahoma, right?
I am Oklahoma.
This is the first coverage. This is the first coverage we've done of our Dynasty League.
Boomer Sooner. My coach's name is Les, L-E-S, Go, G-O-H. I think it's fantastic.
My guy's name is Scott Little.
I love that.
Thanks.
Hold on. That's actually my cousin's dad's name. Scott Little. Yeah.
I literally what is the whitest guy name I can think of right now? And Scott came to mind because I've been working with the Scott recently.
Okay.
And I'm like, I need something just kind of funny, and so I just came up with Little.
Robert, what's your coach's name?
Michelangelo Durkinson.
Let's go. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
M-E.
So
Tulane 10-0.
Yeah, and then I went up to my offensive coordinator, and I said, "Listen, this is not Michigan, Penn State. We do not just run the ball here. You need to open this offense up. We need some pass plays. We need to get this RPO going in this spread system."
We got it.
And he responded in the second half. My defense came up with 6 sacks in the second half.
Nice.
31-0. And then number 8, Tennessee came calling to
Rocky Top,
Norman, Oklahoma. And that wasn't even a game. 55-24. Their only touchdowns came on a 75-yard bomb, an 85-yard bomb, and a 70-yard bomb. So it's all or nothing with my defense.
Sure.
But
Per Oklahoma.
55. It was my best defensive performance. I play Auburn, I get a bye week, and then I play the Ole Miss user who is just running up the scores and throwing all over the place. And so I'm really wondering how good he is. And if I will even be able to keep the game within 20 points. Robert, any advice for me?
I guess just stop his pass. It looks like he throws the ball to his running back a ton.
It does.
So it looks like it's a lot of outside, and then he's probably just doing whatever. Probably a lot of wheel routes. Fun fact for you. There's
we love fun facts.
How many teams are in this?
12. 12.
No. College football.
No, like 120 some technically.
134.
Yeah.
134. Simeon, you are 133rd in rushing.
Yep. Told you.
Excellent.
Told you.
Wonderful.
I was close. Like I said 123 and I was 120.
Listen, I pride myself. I like to run the rock.
Hold on.
You know I like to run the rock.
5.
Let's go.
I love that.
We give the high fives out here
on the
Fourth and One podcast.
You're 5 and you're maybe 200 rushing yards behind Michigan.
Okay.
The good old boy in blue himself.
He ran for 584. Holy moly.
Dude's from Michigan too. That
the user graduated from the University of Michigan.
Oh, let's go blue. Yep. Okay.
Let's go blue.
Let's go. We mad rep. I don't think these boys know we have this podcast yet, so we'll be posting this in the chat. I got a little something special for you. Saw this on my shorts feed. And there's 2 fun facts. I'm hoping that Robert's going to be able to hear this. I have no idea if he will. The dude's name is Xavier
Legette.
Okay.
Xavier Legette. Yes.
Xavier Legette. I'm going to share the screen. We'll play this and see if you can hear this. Robert, can you hear this?
No.
Okay. So for those of you, I don't know if we can just hear this. I think we can just hear this.
Yeah.
You're going to want to go look up using AI to translate Xavier Legette's press conference. It's hilarious. The dude's from northeastern South Carolina.
I thought he was from Arkansas.
No, northeastern South Carolina. I don't know where he went to school. You'll have to forgive me.
He went to South Carolina.
Thank you. He went to South Carolina. The dude is from Mullins, South Carolina originally. Okay. He is, if you go to Mullins, South Carolina's Wikipedia page, he is one of 4 people who are notable from Mullins, South Carolina. Very small town, South, think deep South sort of situation. But this is why I post this. You know that the Fourth and One podcast, allies. And we love to give weird fun facts. Just to remember how racist us white people really are. Let's take a guess here. Let's open it up onto when Mullins School District, whatever school district Mullins, South Carolina, was officially integrated. All schools.
All schools in Mullins, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically by your tone, it tells me it is rather late in the process. I don't know. I'm going to say 1990.
Okay, Robert. That's really racist, by the way. It's not.
No.
I'm glad you said that. I was about to drop like a 2000.
No.
Probably like 84.
Okay, love that guess. The Civil Rights Act of 1964. So the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed in 1964.
Yeah.
Mullins, South Carolina was integrated. Here we go. Education. Of course not. In 1974. So a good decade.
A good 10 years after.
10 years after. So I just want to remind people that it's, only been 50 years since we had segregated schools. So.
Still better than
1970. I'm sorry. It's only 6 years.
Okay.
That's on me.
That's not too bad.
Yes. 1970.
Still not as bad as Augusta.
Still not as bad as Augusta. That was my little fun fact for the day. And
still really not as bad as Augusta letting women be members.
Yeah, what was that? 2003 3?
That was 1990.
1990.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That was 2012.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to say 1990 was when their first black member joined. Yeah. Shout out Augusta School. Okay. What do we want to hit the let's hit the other fun fact that we have news article.
Yeah.
Florida International University and Mr. 305 Pitbull himself, Mr. Worldwide, came to an understanding.
Yeah.
What is the name of their stadium now going to be?
Their stadium it's going to be Pitbull Stadium.
Yeah, let's go.
So because the NCAA, Robert, has opened up to
the floodgates
to the schools paying the players now.
Yeah.
These schools have to find revenue in order to pay the players, right? And instead of so now naming rights for everything are opened up to corporations. Robert, we talked a little bit about the Big 12 conference. They're considering giving the naming rights away of the Big 12 conference to whoever, right? Probably AT&T, Dr. Pepper, something like that.
Pepper.
Yum Stadium.
Florida International University, FIU, is selling their naming rights to their stadium to Pitbull for the next 5 years. He will pay them $1.2 million per year, and the stadium name will be Pitbull Stadium. Robert, first of all, my biggest issue with this is that he couldn't be more creative. He couldn't name it Mr. 305 Stadium, like something more creative. Secondly, I don't mind college getting bread any way they can. And thirdly, I didn't know FIU was in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, as long as, I guess it's like well thought out and they're actually kind of benefiting from it. Probably the reason it's not Mr. 305 is probably because FIU probably has like where Miami, whatever the area code is, kind of deal.
305.
That's 305.
Oh, is it?
That's why he's Mr. 305.
That's why he's Mr. 305.
Can you go ahead and just turn your microphone up just a smidge? I'm sorry. I know we do this every.
It's all right. We're only 26 minutes in, and you want me to turn it up a little bit? That's fine.
Dude, you know him.
Oh, it sounds weird in my head. It might be. We might be using the wrong. Anyway, continue on. Mr. 305, Miami.
All right. So, I mean, I guess you could, but I bet probably the University of Miami would probably have a fit. They'd be like, we're Miami. It's Miami.
I mean, Miami would have a fit, but they then build your own stadium. You play in Hard Rock, like that. This is your fault, right?
This is indeed.
Do you know
fault,
that Hard Rock? We had a student.
You know what else is hard?
Come on.
The foundation of this house. Continue.
We had a student. Come in.
Okay.
To work.
Yep.
And from the University of Miami.
Go you.
And I asked her, of course, because I'm a college football fan, how long does it take you to get to Hard Rock?
Yeah.
She says on normal traffic days, it's a 20-minute car ride.
Okay.
Problem is
game day,
no parking. You got to take shuttles 45 minutes to an hour just to get there. And then the University of Miami wonders why they can never fill up their stadium.
Do you well, it also would help if they were a better team. Amen,
brother.
Yo, that is such a cold. You were just like, well, it would help if they're a better team. Like you just said that.
Remember, Kansas had a hard time filling up their stadium. Then they go 9-2, and look at that.
Okay,
they have students everywhere.
Listen, I need you to know this. We are now started the 5th season, right? Just about started the 5th season, whatever you want to call it. We are 4 years in.
Yeah.
I need you to know this.
Yeah.
And I need you to remember this.
Okay.
There are 12 games in the college football regular season. Always and so far, forever, have been 12 games.
Listen.
So when you say 9-2, that's only 11. I need you to either commit to 9-3. So there's
14 weeks, right?
I need you to either commit to 9-3.
Which is what they went last year.
Or 10-2.
Okay.
Secondly, there are 13 weeks to the regular season. This week, it just so happens to be 14 because of the extra bye week. But
this year, you mean?
This year. But there are normally 13 weeks. Each team gets a bye week, 12 games.
Well, listen, all I have to say is 13 is an unlucky number, so that's on them. Second of all I have to say is they went 9-3 last year.
There it is.
And they get a couple good upsets, and they have some pretty cool uniforms, and their students show up. Remember the national championship season of University of Central Florida, located in Orlando, or Horlando, as some may call it,
the Bounce House.
The Bounce House, yeah.
Bounce.
When they
bounce,
were,
bounce,
was the
bounce.
reason it got the nickname is because their foundation was not as hard as the Rock, and it bounced around a lot because the students like to jump around, which is the song that they like to sing at the beginning of the third quarter or fourth quarter. I don't remember, at University of Wisconsin. I just did word association. I've gotten food. I had a rough day. We're having fun. Do we want to talk about?
We're off the rails.
Oh, 100%.
Robert. I keep trying to tell my mom that you will just get on these rants sometimes, and they're just the funniest thing ever. Do you have a rant or something to try to prove to the people that you're just not the personality you are about this whole NCAA thing? Maybe I'll even try to point you in the right direction. The fact that ESPN keeps getting leaks of ongoing investigations, you anything, are you just gonna play it cool?
Eventually, the University of Michigan has to file a lawsuit, right? Because if they're telling ESPN before they're even telling the college, that's an issue. But in the same sense, when is the NCAA gonna just no? See, you almost see, because I would have used the.
That's not what we're laughing at.
No, we are. Keep going. Keep going.
It's more or less just annoying because the NCAA, as Simeon has said and as you have said, are just a bunch of old cranky ass white men.
Yeah.
And what it turns they're trying to get Harbaugh because Harbaugh literally changed the game for them, because now they have to revenue share. So now their pockets aren't as deep, and now they're all pissy, and now they're all just like Metamucil sharing right now. And it's just you give Harbaugh a 4-year whatever it is, and it's Harbaugh's Harbaugh's like, well, that's fine. I have a 4-year, $80 million contract with the not San Diego Chargers, but the LA Chargers.
Yep.
Up yours. Who cares? That's what he's saying. It just shows that the NCAA might just be about as worthless of an organization as the government is.
Okay,
let's go. I was just thinking that on the way here.
I did
about how useless the government is.
Yeah. I don't disagree with anything you said here. The show cause, 4 years show cause, which means if he comes back and it's during the next 4 years to college athletics, which he isn't going to.
Yeah.
He's going to spend a minimum of 4 years with the Los Angeles Chargers. I can guarantee you that. He has to sit out an entire year, and then he won't be involved in games or travel or recruiting or anything for the remainder of the thing. That's what the show cause penalty means. Simeon, his mic is fine. I think it's your headphones.
No, it's not my headphones. That's what I was laughing at, is his microphone is set to his headphones, because he's a great ranter, but he's not necessarily the greatest when it comes to technology, and that's okay. He just has to point things at people and see their bones on the side of them.
Yeah. So the NCAA is just this is not even for the Connor Stallions thing. This is because he said, I can't remember, for the recruiting, quote unquote, violations that took place during the COVID dead period and the whole buying the kid a hamburger thing, which we have talked at nauseam about.
The hamburger.
So this has to do with that. And mostly because he pissed off the NCAA, because he said, I can't remember, and no, I won't give you my phone during this investigation. So they said, fine, we'll give you a 4-year show cause penalty, which is the dumbest thing. What I am upset about is the fact that if they're going after Michigan for this whole Connor Stallions thing and for this whole recruiting thing, Can someone investigate the NCAA or the SEC schools, please? Because at this point, Dan Lanning said, "Oh, so Kirby Smart had all these recruiting classes without any NIL." Like everyone knows that the SEC was making NCAA violations, and at this point, it's just a government body that was just taking bribes from the SEC, not to investigate them at this point. It's ridiculous. Can someone do something?
I mean, this was my point to Robert yesterday when we talked about it a little bit at work. It's weird. It's out of the ordinary. They're unnecessary. My question to Robert that I had was, at what point does the SEC or the Big Ten, or what I posed to him is the hypothetical I posed to him is Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame come out and go, yeah, no, our football programs are leaving the NCAA. We're going to go play under the Big Ten. The Big Ten is going to spin off a separate thing that's going to have all the same people in it, but separate to the NCAA, and we're going to just play under Big Ten football, and it's going to be all the same thing. We just don't have to deal with the SEC with the NCAA anymore. And then Alabama and Oregon and Washington and USC and Texas immediately go, yeah, us too. And boom, there goes the NCAA for college football.
At this point, I kind of feel like Ohio State fans did when the NCAA put them on like a 3-year probation for the kids selling memorabilia for getting tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, my eyes are open, and that should not have happened. I'm glad it did because I'm a Michigan fan, but this is just ridiculous.
Could you imagine how enraged you are if you're an SMU fan?
Robert, you talk about that all the time. How SMU should sue the NCAA for this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm still trying to talk into the mic when you just clearly just told me that's going in my head. I'm gonna do it for show though, just so everyone.
I love it. Perfect for those watching. Yeah.
Yeah, they literally killed the football program
for a year. They didn't do it again.
Like, they literally went and set back SMU like 50 years. In football. And football.
And he's not exaggerating. It was 50 years. For those of you who don't know the history.
It's SMU, honestly, at that point, I mean, with Eric Dickerson, they were just
That's who it was. So good.
They could have, if they were able to just keep going, doing their thing, they probably would have taken, a place in the Big 12 and... we
would be talking about Texas, Oklahoma, and SMU.
Yeah. SMU wouldn't be in the ACC because SMU would be a big dog in the Big 12, and
they might have joined the SEC sooner. Yeah, 100%. And you have to remember, this is also how bad SMU was in the 2000s, right? When the U was the U.
Yeah,
they literally went, okay, we're going to have to do what? Because we can't kill their program, because if we kill their program, they're dead for 50 years. I mean, SMU's lucky, because I was talking about this with someone else. SMU, they killed it in the 80s, I want to say, maybe late 70s. They're just now getting back to a Power 5 conference, 30, 50 years later, so I can't do math. 50 years later, so literally 50 years was what I said. But the way they did it is they literally bought themselves into it, because I guess they have a bunch of rich people who are their boosters.
It's Dallas.
It's oil money. Yeah, no. You can't do that. So yeah, if I'm University of Miami, grant, because I haven't been good since 2000. If I'm SMU, if I'm Ohio State, I'm trying to think of anyone else. I think USC. If I'm USC, if I'm Reggie Bush, I am pissed off, dude.
I mean, Reggie Bush is in an active lawsuit against the NCAA.
As he should be.
Actually,
it's a sham of an athletic association. There's no need for them anymore. The schools basically run themselves. And what I was thinking on the way over here is all these schools is basically an experience. Kids just buy $100,000 for a college experience and a piece of paper and move on. And the football teams fund the experience for the rest of the kids.
To put into perspective how detrimental that death penalty was.
Yeah.
The very first season they were back was 1989. So they didn't play 87, and they didn't play 88. So their first year back, 89, they went 2-9. Okay.
Were they in Division 3?
No.
Did they come back Division 1?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I was remembering they came back like Division 3 because that's how bad it was.
Well, because the Southwestern Conference was a Division 1 conference at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
They lost to Houston 95 to like 23.
Hey, so actually the 91 that you put up and the 98 that the Ohio State user put up isn't actually that inaccurate. Okay. Right. That is a great fun fact. Yeah. I mean, we can beat this dead horse that the NCAA is. So what I was getting at with Robert and what you were getting at with does the University of Michigan need to sue the NCAA at this point is because ESPN obtained a draft. That is the key word there. A draft, not even the final statement, a draft of a statement.
Yeah.
That accuses Sharon Moore, current head coach of the University of Michigan, of deleting 52 text messages between him and Connor the day that the news came out about the scandal about Connor Stalions potentially advanced scouting. Those text messages were later recovered during the investigation, and Sharon Moore turned them over willingly to authorities. So I think that's a whole bunch of to do about nothing. People, the report, Robert, you know more about reports. Reports are what? That they are going to, that the NCAA wants a postseason ban, but then you got ESPN guys saying, like, that's just not going to happen. Like you've heard reports of the NCAA really just trying to set an example of Michigan, but everyone with a brain is just like, that's just not going to happen. No, let him talk.
I know. I'm just confused.
Yeah. I mean, every day is a new report, and it's always something different. It's like 1 minute there's a postseason ban, and then the next minute it's, well, Sharon Moore is going to get like suspension and probably just a real big fine for the institution. But like they just keep making these drafts and saying, well, this and this and this and this, and this is where the problem is coming in, is because they're releasing all these things to ESPN. ESPN is just throwing all this information out there because, of course, they have no clue.
Right, and it's clickbait, yep.
Right, and now Michigan's actually losing recruits over it because recruits are like, well, I don't want to go somewhere if I'm not going to be able to play in the playoff, if I like to get my name out there. So it's just turning into this, like, essentially the NCAA is kind of working its new modern death penalty for a team, is what I would call it.
Just keep them in the news?
Keep them in the news, putting out that, well, this is a possibility of what could happen. This is a possibility. In the end, they could come out and be like, it's just a fine, or, there actually wasn't a substantial amount of evidence, but the damage would have already been done because there's kids who won't go because they're too nervous. Parents being like, I don't want my kids to be wrapped up in something like this, and it kind of just feels like it's a new modern day tactic of trying to put a death penalty on.
This is why it doesn't.
That's a crazy take that I wouldn't put it past him though.
I think we're in a conspiracy. 2024 is the year of the conspiracy for sure. Like, listen, a president got assassinated, another one dropped out.
No.
We're not even sure if he's real anymore.
He didn't even get assassinated.
Like, assassination attempt, which you can't find on Google unless you literally Google the words. Anyway, yeah, we don't know what Duke's doing either, Robert. He's just vibing. He's out here living his best life.
Standing on something?
No, there's a spider crawling across the ground.
Oh, this is very interesting.
And he is.
He's
also a little high. He got drugged today to get his nails clipped, and so he's just fascinated by every. Oh, yep, and now he's going to bed. Yeah. Okay, and we're done.
The year of 2024 is the years of the conspiracy. That's all I have to say from beginning to end. Except I think this one's probably.
Did you say the president wasn't real?
Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah, that's another conspiracy that they did body double Joe Biden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's a lot taller than he was before.
I live under a rock,
Crazy
everybody, so...
They both suck.
I mean, there's a reason.
Not in a good way. Come on!
Hey, come on! There's a reason he stepped down. So, listen, all I'm saying is this one sounds the most legit out of all the conspiracies I've heard. I think this is the dying embers of the NCAA. I don't think neither of you are going to disagree with me when I say that. And, like, this is them just trying to hold on to power. I still, now that they're employees, they can basically do in, like, the NCAA's world whatever the F they want. They can't, like, obviously abuse them. There's going to be unions and stuff and blah, 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 blah. They can't, like, there's going to be employment law that's involved here. But I'm saying from a school to NCAA, no, you have no power here, is basically what I would say if I was a coach and an NCAA investigator came up to show me.
Robert, also to answer your question, Ohio State was already supposed to play his game. So he has until they are done to play. We are back to dynasty.
Yeah.
He has until they are done, and then it's a force advance.
To be fair, this is diehards who made it to the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, that's true.
To be fair. So, like, yeah, it's
all right. I want everyone to go around the room, and we're gonna go round robin. I want everyone really quickly, not really quickly. We're at the 46-minute mark, but don't lollygag because we'll be logging off here in the next 10 or so. I want you to name a team that is on the bubble that if they have an uptick in year, they will be able to make the college football playoff, but they're not on the college football playoff radar by any in anyone's real category, but they might get there.
So walk me through again.
Okay, so
just for the listeners. So Power 6 get an automatic bid. Winners get automatic bids. Correct?
So the top five, the highest five conference
champions,
the highest ranked 5 conference champions, get seeded.
So
1 through 4, and then who's ever lowest, will be the 5th seed. Unless if it's a mid-major Boise State who's 19, then they will go to 12, which is kind of so say,
so Power 5 gets 1 through 5.
Well, there's only 4 conferences, Power 4 conferences now. So basically,
oh right, Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore, baby.
Right.
Oh, okay. So Power 4 gets it 1 through 4, and then the number 5 is the
number 5.
6?
Number 5 team is basically a group of 6.
Okay. Highest rated.
However,
group of 6.
If they're like 10 and everyone is like above them, who else gets in? They get seated 10.
Higher. They get to jump the seats.
There's a Kirk Herbstreit video. I'll send it to you. But you should get it figured out.
It's not for me. It's for them.
Okay. All right.
If I haven't watched it, Micaiah, and I'm a pretty big fan, they for sure.
So let's say Georgia's number 1 and they're a conference champion. Let's say Ohio State's number 3 and they're a conference champion.
Yeah.
Let's say the number 2 team in the land lost to number 1, and that's
we can move past it. I got 1 through 5.
Right.
Okay. So give me 6 through 12.
6. Then through the rest are the next 6 highest ranked teams. So if your 5 conference champions are ranked 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10, right? They get seeded 1 through 5 based on the College Football Playoff Committee and where they're ranked, right? 10 would then be a 5 seed.
Yeah.
And then the next, so then that means that team ranked 2, 4, 6, 8,
Who
and
do we
9.
Appreciate? There it is.
8 and 9. Then fill in the bracket then accordingly.
You're kind of waiting for that, Robert. Waiting for him to get there. And it pounced. This is why it's better in person for me. All right.
So what we are doing.
So basically, rankings, you take them out, then the next highest ranked.
So basically, the teams that are who we do not think right now will make the college football playoff, right? Everyone's thinking that it's Georgia and it's Texas. And
so
blah,
it's
blah,
really
blah.
Like, in theory, you could have like a conference champion who's
on
22nd
the bubble
ranked.
teams.
Yeah. So it's really like anybody who's going to rank 20 to 30.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, let's start with you. You'll get the idea. Me and Robert will go first, then you'll go
I
third.
got the idea.
I don't think you do, but we'll see if you do.
The answer is Ole Miss.
No, it's not. Robert, go for it.
Wisconsin.
Exactly.
It's Ole Miss and Wisconsin are the same.
No, because Ole Miss is starting the season in the top 10.
Yeah.
So, no, Ole Miss is supposed...
So if you're telling me Ole Miss is the SEC runner-up...
Oh, my gosh.
And they finished ranked 9th?
Yeah.
And Alabama, let's say, beats them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's possible. Are they in the same division? Anyway.
There's no divisions.
There's no divisions anymore?
There's
okay.
No divisions.
I don't remember who has divisions anymore and who doesn't.
Help me out here.
All right, hold on. What conferences got rid of divisions?
The Big Ten.
Yep.
All of them
SEC,
except for the MAC.
Big 12. All of them except for the MAC.
All of them except for the MAC.
Thanks, Rob.
I thought it was only 2 of them. Okay? I don't read all the same news you guys do.
Clearly.
Okay?
Maybe
you're telling me that a runner-up Ole Miss team,
runner-up SEC.
9,
yeah. Runner-up to Georgia.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's ranked 9th.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or let's say a third ranked in the SEC. Technically, it would not be on the bubble.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Let me do it this way. Let's break it down into tiers. You got tier 1.
That's the S tier, yeah.
Okay, and then you got tier 2.
Okay,
we're looking at A tier teams.
We're looking at A tier teams?
No.
You're looking at B tier teams.
Sure.
Ole Miss is a B tier team.
No.
How is Ole Miss not a B tier team?
Rob, help me out here. Come on.
Oh, it was the Sun Belt, by the way. I was wrong. Sorry.
How is Ole Miss not a B tier team?
They're not on the bubble.
I would say they're. If anything, they would be like a super high B tier, low A tier team, just because. I mean, they finished.
And Rob,
right,
Rob, would that put them on the bubble or not on the bubble?
What are their?
I don't know. They finished 3rd in the SEC last year, so it's not like.
Look at that!
Listen,
what was my example, Micaiah?
Listen, the game is expectations going into the season are for college football playoffs, and we're playing the game of expectations of teams that have.
That's not what you said.
It is what I said.
You said who's going to be on the bubble at the end of the year.
Yeah, because I was trying to simplify it. Because if
who has the expectation to be on the bubble at the end of the year. That's a totally different question. Wisconsin is a great answer to that question.
Yes.
Minnesota is another great answer to that question.
Oh my goodness, Minnesota's a terrible answer.
No, they have the expectation though.
So
you're telling me PJ Fleck, if he does not be on the bubble for the playoff, is not fired at the end of this year?
There are 11 teams that are favored for.
Give me the 11. Go ahead. Give me. I should have done it this way. Give me the 11.
This is who's favored for the playoff.
Right. Georgia.
Okay, of course.
Ohio State.
Yep.
Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Texas. Bama.
Yep.
LSU.
Great.
Penn State.
Rock Chalk.
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Florida State.
Go Blue.
Michigan. And Ole Miss.
Okay. You can't pick any one of those teams. Pick another team. I should have started there. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We made it 52 minutes in and without an argument.
Essentially, pick who your dark horse would be to make the playoffs.
Sure.
Who were voting for number 12, if that's the question.
Yeah. Sure.
However it gets.
Okay,
you're telling me when we previewed the Big Ten that Minnesota doesn't have a chance.
Yes, I am telling you that.
How? Like, I know how. Yes. They're probably going to go. I'm going to say this just to make you annoyed. They're probably going to go 9-4.
Let me give you mine.
Okay.
West Virginia.
That's the Minnesota of the Big 12.
Oh my goodness, West Virginia.
Instead of Minnesota, I would have said Iowa.
Yeah. There you go. Iowa's a better option.
Iowa has a much better chance than Minnesota. Even I will tell you that.
Yeah.
But you keep moving the goalposts on me. Robert, did he not move the goalposts on me? First it was, who is the bubble teams? Then it was, what's the expectations? Now you're just making up the rules.
I thought that bubble teams would be the easiest way to explain that to you. Minnesota's not a bubble team.
But they want to be a bubble team. So is it teams that are a bubble team or want to be a bubble team?
No team is anything right now.
Well, Yeah, well, then we shouldn't be doing this. Of course, no team's nothing right now. It's not even week 0 yet.
Yes, that's what I'm. That's what I'm saying. But I was trying to give it for you to predict and look forward.
I did, and I said if there's a super dark. Okay, there is a Nigerian dark horse team.
Oh boy.
And that's Minnesota.
I don't think you can say that.
Okay. That's probably a little racist. That's fair.
Apologize.
Sorry. My bad, guys. But also,
okay. No one thinks if Minnesota makes the college football playoff, I'll give you $5.
Okay. Now for a real bubble team.
Oklahoma State wasn't on that list, right?
Colorado.
No.
Okay, Colorado. I will accept Colorado.
No, if you're not accepting Minnesota, the 4 and 6 that they played 10 games last. They had a weird number in their.
How many?
They only won 4 conference games.
No. They won 4 games.
Okay,
you are correct.
Okay,
so 4 plus 1
4
equals
and 8.
12. There we go.
Sorry,
Robert, clap because my hands aren't free. Thank you.
So the 4 and 8. Colorado Buffalo.
Yeah.
Led by Neon Dion. Shout out.
He's never going to listen
to this podcast.
It's beneath him.
It has a better chance of making the college football playoff than the gold-wearing tie man himself and PJ Fleck.
Robert, agree or disagree? Colorado has a better shot to make the college football playoff than Minnesota.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Told you. Thank you.
The biggest problem with Minnesota is their quarterback.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
Do you want to place another bet?
Okay. No.
Colorado will finish with a better record than Minnesota?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Ooh, Simeon, take that.
Here's the issue.
See, now I have to root for Colorado, and I really don't want to do that.
Take Minnesota to get a better record.
I'm going to take that bet. Minnesota's going to have a better record than Colorado. Okay. I think they're going to turn it around.
Okay, $5.
Do we want to do hot sauce again? Because I kind of want to see you score.
I'm not doing hot sauce. Not with my GI. Absolutely not.
All right, fine. $5.
Not with the ulcer I have in my stomach.
$5.
$5.
$5. So you'll owe me 10 at the end of the season.
Watch Minnesota go 11-1.
Yeah.
But watch Colorado go like 12-0 then.
Okay, so Oklahoma State's a great answer here.
I don't think they were on the list.
They were not on the list.
Okay, great. Robert, we got 3 minutes left, so let's just keep the round robin going.
We don't chill, dude.
I get
it. It's your bedtime. You're an old man. Okay.
Stirring the pot?
I am stirring the pot. Actually, no, it's not my bedtime. I do have to stay up and play my game, but that's fine. Robert, just give me another team though.
Let's go with
Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss.
I will just end the podcast right there. If someone says Ole Miss, just stop.
No, I am going to
go... Ole Miss is a great answer. He never disagreed with me.
Let's go JMU.
Okay.
Rolling in at 12.
No. Listen, what did they do last year? Really good record. If they can make the postseason. If they roll through the Fun Belt. They
didn't have 12 games last season.
They definitely had 12 games last season.
No, it was the year before. I'm sorry. That's on me.
Oh, my gosh.
They had 10 conference games the year before that.
Everybody, if they roll through Fun Belt,
plus
and if they're ranked like
plus the conference championship.
Plus the conference championship, if they are ranked like 16, that's pretty high, group of 5. It's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick.
But Ole Miss, who finished 3rd in the SEC last year, is a bad pick.
No, it's not even a dark horse though, because they could very well finish 3rd again. They could actually finish 2nd.
But they would need to finish 2nd. In theory, they would need to finish 2nd to get in.
Not really.
I think 4 SEC teams are almost a lock.
I agree. Well, no, not with Oregon and Michigan and Ohio
We've already
State.
Been over this.
Well, yeah, we.
Okay, mine. I will go with.
I was trying to think of a really raunchy acronym for
Utah. Was on that
NCAA.
list, yeah.
No.
Great answer.
Then I'm gonna go.
Great answer.
I'm gonna go with Utah. Why not Utah? Thank you.
We're on a game of Family Feud.
Utah.
Show me you. We're on a game of Family Feud. There needs to be a dapper dressed black man with a mustache standing right there, pointing at a screen.
Way to be.
He's also hilarious too. Great comedian. I think Missouri should be on the list.
I'll
accept Missouri. Not on there, but yeah.
I'll accept Missouri.
Not on the list, but on our list.
Yeah. I'll accept Missouri.
I think they have a chance with how they reloaded this offseason. I think they have a chance to
make a run.
Yeah.
Robert?
Miami.
Back to you, bud. Miami? Okay. I will
Do you see what James Franklin said recently? Do you want to call it?
James Franklin was on the favorites list, so I can't do
James Franklin was on the list?
I will go I will go into the bag of the Big Ten and say USC.
Wait, Penn State was on the list, but USC wasn't?
Neither was Michigan, right?
Michigan was.
I almost called him Lane Kiffin. Lincoln Riley got my L's mixed up. My white guy L's mixed up.
That's not racist because you're white.
That's not racist because I'm white. And they both coached for USC technically. Because Lane Kiffin got drunk and then got booted, and then Orgeron came in and went to LSU, the whole thing.
Yeah. You remember that, but not remember how many games are in the college football season.
Listen.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, conference realignment threw me off. I'm still getting over my conference realignment hangover.
It's still the same amount of games.
New teams, no divisions, round robins, home and homes.
It's the same amount.
We don't know what's going on anymore. I think they're making it up as they go at this point. Guys are getting six figures
USC,
to just like roll a dice.
What do you have?
I have a reverse. I don't think Penn State should be on the list. Can I say that?
No, you cannot Uno reverse.
If I had an Uno reverse card, would you let me Uno reverse it?
If you had a physical Uno reverse card, yes, I would let you throw it down.
My Uno reverse card from now on.
Oh my god.
That's a great question. I think it's someone in probably SMU.
SMU's.
I'm trying to think if it's. I'm thinking of SMU or Houston. Which one is? It's SMU. If you're saying it's not a bad one, it's SMU.
I'll give you SMU. Living in 2 last year. Rob, you got another one?
Yeah. Let's roll with. Let's take a trip on my favorite rocket ship to
shooting through the
Tennessee.
Sky. Rocky Top.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Is Rocky Top what you call it when you get a blowjob with Pop Rocks?
See, there it is. Right there. And on that note, boom.
Oh, yeah. Robert, you almost had it. All right. Go ahead. Take us out, big man.
And just like that, we are out.
Wash your hands, you filthy animals. This has been the 4th and 1 podcast. We'll see everybody next week.